Dude, Kyle, they're looking for more.
All right, baby. It's time to get to work. We got to start holding some chub around here.
I mean, why do we add some custom badges? Maybe some emojis coming? I know somebody out there wants to drop some Crispies in the chat.
Well, how about bonus videos? I mean, baby, I'm talking about that deep diving action that you're not just going to find laying around on the channel. You got to get in here for it.
I mean, what if we sprinkle in a little bit of a live stream, an extra live stream, Kyle? Sunday mornings in season, just before lineups lock, a members only live stream. That sounds amazing because have you watched our live streams? The chat is absolutely nuts.
You know what? Maybe you just love what we do here and you've been a fan for a while now and you just want to show a little bit of support. Hey, that's fine as well. This is the way to do it.
That's right. This membership is for everyone, not just the super elite at only $4.99 a month. You're going to be holding chub all month long.
Yo, what's going on, Headliner Nation? Kyle back with the Fantasy Headliners. Day 2 of the NFL Draft in the books, over, done for. And I tell you what, man, damn, I loved a lot of the picks in round 2. It was actually hard for me to break down this video into enough guys that I liked that it wasn't too long. I ended up picking 7 different winners from round 2 of the NFL Draft. Absolutely loved some of these picks, and we're going to jump into all those that I do love here in the next minute. However, you just saw the video for it a second ago in the opening. We've got a new membership option here on YouTube. The join button down below the video, right next to subscribe. You click that, $4.99 a month. You're going to get access to a bunch of stuff, including some emotes that you can use in the chat, a badge next to your name that shows up in the comments in our chats as well, an extra live show, any content that we do that's not to the public, you're going to be able to find that here on YouTube as well. So tons of great stuff here on YouTube. So consider hitting that join button down below. Ladies and gentlemen, while you do that, make sure you hit that like button as well. And let's jump into it and talk about my winners from day 2, well, round 2 of the NFL Draft. Kicking it off, the 35th overall pick, Javonte Williams, going to the Denver Broncos. Absolutely loved this pick. And honestly, it probably isn't going to come to fruition right away. Melvin Gordon is still going to get a lot of touches there in Denver to start with. But, you know, Melvin Gordon is on the older side. And he is going to be a guy that in the next year or two isn't going to be really viable for that team. So give Javonte Williams a year or two, and he is going to be right smack dab in the middle of a big-time offense out there in Denver, and will be a big part of it as well. And I mean, even last year with Phillip Lindsay, yeah, Phillip Lindsay's touches went down a little bit last year, but he was still given quite a bit of touches right there alongside Melvin Gordon. And if for some reason Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater struggle, they're going to have to really rely on this ground game, and Javonte Williams is going to get a nice amount of touches. So good pick there for Denver. 42nd overall pick, Liam Inchberg out of Notre Dame. Listen, this is a guy that had a borderline grade or round 1 grade on him. A lot of people thought he was going to go in round 1. The Dolphins had a great round 1. And this is why this is such a winning pick here, is because they go with Jalen Waddle 6 overall. Now, you had Sewell still sitting there that you could have taken, but they rolled the dice and they said, we're going to go with Waddle. We're going to go with the top wide receiver that we've got on the board right now. And then we'll try and get our offensive line help in the second round. And they nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Love this pick here, helping reinforce that offensive line a little bit. The risk ended out working for them. So good job on the Dolphins' part, killing the draft right now. Asante Samuel Jr., another guy, a cornerback that had a borderline grade, round 1 grade on him, going 47th overall to the Los Angeles Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers absolutely have killed this draft so far. Good for them. They absolutely deserve it. doing a great job. And Samuel Jr., they needed some cornerback help. They end up getting Rashawn Slater falling to them in the first round. Perfect. Didn't need to move at all for them. They could use some cornerback help as well. And Asante Samuel Jr. ends up falling to them in the second round too. Baby, baby, baby. The Chargers are just getting some gifts right in their lap this year. That is absolutely excellent. Asante Samuel Jr. heading out to Los Angeles to help the Chargers on defense. Perfect pick for them here. A team that was in my round 1 losers column yesterday, making it into the round 2 winners column. AZEEZ OJULARI falling to the New York Giants. Now, this makes up for round 1. Round 1, my biggest issue was you needed edge help much, much, much more than you needed a wide receiver. And I still don't think they needed to go wide receiver there. They could have went edge there, and they could have went with an offensive lineman here. I still think that is true. But AZEEZ OJULARI was considered the edge one by a lot of people in this draft. He's got some injury concerns, but he should end up being just fine. Nothing that presents too much of a challenge. And they get OJULARI falling to them all the way at 50th overall. That's a huge win in the second round. That definitely makes up for taking the wide receiver in round 1. Again, still don't love it. Still think they could have went a different route with it. They didn't. It's over and done with. But they end up getting themselves a great pick in the second round to help on the edge there and create some pressure, because that is absolutely something that they needed to do. The Cleveland Browns just keep getting better. It's absolutely insane, the defense that they have put together over there. And they made it even better with Jeremiah OWUSU-KORAMOAH, or as we have referred to him on this channel as JOK, for a while now. One of my favorite players in this draft. Unfortunately, he's getting hit with that stigma of when you're kind of a tweener, people tend to overlook you a little bit. What are you, a safety? Are you a linebacker? Listen, you know what the dude does well? He tracks down ball carriers. You know what he also does well? He hits ball carriers hard. And if you get in front of JOK, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going much further, and you're going to feel it come the next day. JOK, a huge grab here for the Cleveland Browns at 52 overall. This was a guy that was a first-round pick for so many people. He ends up falling in the draft. No one really understands why, other than the fact, again, people may not really know where they wanted to use him, but the Browns said, screw it, we're going to take him, and we're going to find a spot for him in this defense. Oh, man. He is going to fit in well there. Congratulations to the Browns on getting a guy that by many, many people had a round 1 grade. The Tennessee Titans get one of my favorite names in the draft, DILLON RADUNZ out of North Dakota State. RADUNZ for me was definitely a guy, again, that had that just on the edge, the cusp of having a round 1 grade, and they get him all the way down at 53rd overall. And the reason I love RADUNZ to the Tennessee Titans, because this guy is an absolute mauler in the run game. And the scheme that they use there in North Dakota State mirrors what they do in Tennessee. So he's going to feel right at home moving into this offense. Great pick here for the Tennessee Titans. They're going to want to continue to run the football, obviously, with Derrick Henry. And you're getting a guy that definitely is one of the best run blockers in this draft. Excellent pick here by the Tennessee Titans, getting RADUNZ to fall all the way to 53 overall. What about the Kansas City Chiefs? Their offensive line about a month ago was a joke. We were all sitting around looking at this offensive line going, WTH, Patrick Mahomes is going to die. What a change, or what an overhaul that they have had there. And they also now add Creed Humphrey, 63rd overall, bringing him in, a guy that can play center or either of the guard positions. And now you look at that offensive line in Kansas City and you go, man, they've got themselves a pretty good offensive line. They're going to be able to protect well. They're going to be able to run the football, hopefully better this season as well, too. Creed Humphrey is a guy that made a pretty large jump towards the end of mock season. There was a lot of people as they were kind of digging through and getting their final draft board set up. Creed Humphrey had a huge rise. There was a lot of people that thought Creed Humphrey could end up going in the first round. And part of that thought process was that he would go to the Kansas City Chiefs at the end of the first round before they traded out with the Baltimore Ravens. Creed Humphrey ends up falling all the way down to them at 63rd overall. You absolutely got to love it if you're a Chiefs fan. You're drafting a guy on the offensive line that's going to help protect Patrick Mahomes. It's going to give you some better run blocking there, and that is what you absolutely need. Some really, really good picks in round 2 of the NFL Draft. And those are my 7 winners from round 2 of the NFL Draft. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below if you appreciate the content, and leave me a comment letting me know who your round 2 winners are. How do you like and how your team is drafted so far? Is there anything that stood out to you in round 2 that you want to talk about? Leave a comment down below. And make sure you subscribe. If you're new here to the Fantasy Headliners, hit that subscribe button. Become a part of Headliner Nation today. Everyone enjoy the final day of the NFL Draft. We're going to have tons of post-draft content coming, though. It's going to be really good. Everybody, stay safe. Stay healthy. I'll catch you on the next episode of the Fantasy Headliners.